demonstrating a few practice techniques for the guitar, fingerstyle techniques. As you can tell, I'm still working through them myself. I'd like to join some of these techniques with vocal practice and run through some basic components of what I was just practicing as a demonstration. So this is a bit of an elaborated or sort of developed version of some basic techniques. I'm using the thumb down and the fingers up, so essentially a plucking technique as opposed to a traditional strumming technique that tends to use the fingers down and the thumb up. So just a bit of a point of contrast there. I'm using a raga guitar. Some of these techniques were first shown to me by Matthew Grasso. So Matt, if you're watching, thank you so much. And I'll continue to receive as much as possible from you with regard to this sort of playing. Now, let me see if I can do justice to explaining some of the techniques. The full sort of not the apex, but a bit of a fuller and more developed technique, as I was saying, I was demonstrating. That was down on the Jacari, up on high saw with the index finger, then down, up on high saw as well with the thumb, middle index. So Jacari, thumb down, up with the index and high saw, and then down, up, thumb, middle index. There's one more piece to this. Pa, sa, or pa, sa, right? Sa, 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 pa, sa, chick, pa, sa, sorry, chick, sa, 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 pa, sa, chick, sa, 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 pa, sa, chick, sa, 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 pa, sa. Singing the right octave, right? Chick, sa, 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 pa, sa. Chick, pa, sa, sa, pa, sa, chick, sa, 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 pa, sa. So, again, the basic elements being down with the thumb, up with the fingers. You change the rhythm a little bit as you see fit. I like to sort of break this down, look at some of the components that I was saying. You can do it on one string, so even for guitars tuned in a standard E, A, D, G, B, E, or some variant of that tuning, it works as well, yeah? Down with the thumb, up with the index. I'm doing what lutenists would know as the figueta española, as opposed to this figueta extranjera with the index in front of the thumb. I don't find it to be very ergonomic. So on one string it works just fine. Most people probably know more of the picado technique as far as fingerstyle goes for one string. I'm practicing in the Asawari Tat. It's like a natural minor scale in Western tonal harmony. Anyhow, various ways to employ this. Down with the thumb, up with the index, sort of the basic combination. We also start to use this toward a tremolo technique with down with the thumb, up with the middle, then index, or even the ring middle index, right? That A, M, I, right? P, A, M, I, P, A, M, I, P. On one string. You even add in the C finger or the meñique, the pinky. It's a little less ergonomic though because it's so short, right? But still, getting that sort of that grabbing, plucking technique really developed those muscles. Sort of that, how do you say? We're looking we're looking closely at those counter motions between thumb down and and fingers up. Even at the same time, this can happen. Yeah. So I followed that tune there, but anyhow, let's let that be for now. Doing this sort of, again, this pincher kind of motion, right? These are all really good practices for those muscles. So let's not let that go by unexplained. I'm doing sa and pa, or right? I guess the Western equivalent on a standard tune guitar, E and B, those two highest sounding strings. This can be done on middle strings as well, or on the lower strings. Right? This alternation, of course, at the same time, that leads you toward this technique of plucking chords. Yeah, a good kind of basic rudiment for those plucking techniques. Using all five fingers there. And so the sky is the limit, more or less, that we have these combinations of down with the thumb and up with the fingers. Here's one. Sa 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 pa sa 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 e b e. So working through those is a great skill builder for fingerstyle guitar, or of course using other instruments. Part of the idea here is clearly to join some of those traditions and figure out how this wonderful lute and guitar sort of extended family can inform each other, right? Inform the various sort of separate traditions that have developed. And now let's talk about how to use this vocally. Yeah, I was basically, as I was demonstrating first in the beginning there, sa sa sa. I was holding that sa, right? Sa 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 sa. You could use this as just a long tone practice. Sa, of course, the Western solfege being completely appropriate as well. Do, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la, ti, la. However you'd like to put those together. Think about this though. You could hold the drone string for even a longer tone, yeah? Sa, as I say, the sky is really the limit. This could be a diction practice as well. Sa, right? Sa, gets a little high for me there. You can tell how hard it is. I haven't quite warmed up yet. There's some ideas on how this can inform your practice in a multicultural way. So these are a few tidbits of what I'm working on lately as far as technique practice. Again, really working on those rudiments toward a clean and effective, even for your arpeggios and tremolo techniques for classical guitarists. flamenco people. Right? This can even help in developing picado as well. Something that you'd like to join with the thumb technique as well. So notice on that, no, not really. Yeah, no, 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 no. I get the thumb in there as well. So kind of surprising that or interrupting that picado technique with the thumb. Be a nice use of this as well. So 1 or 2 strings is probably a good starting point. All right. That's just thumb, index, thumb, index, thumb, index, thumb, index. One of the simpler but yet kind of complete applications of these principles. Thumb, index, thumb, index, thumb, P-I, 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 again, sort of, I don't want to forget to mention that those large leaps for vocalists is great practice as well. Of course, we have sometimes trouble with those larger leaps. That's part of the idea behind a singable line being a largely stepwise line. But so I'd like to sort of leave it open-ended and invite feedback, invite you to share some of your conclusions on this. How did you use these techniques? How were they helpful for you? It could be really any permutation of what I presented here. So have fun with this, and I hope it leads you toward a stronger right-hand technique. Of course, left-hand technique being important as well. How can we get that in there? It's a hammer-on and a shift. That's one idea. Pull off all the way down. So, as you can see, a lot to work on here. I hope this serves you well. See you soon.